Over the past few years, I've been trying to figure out where I stand in life. And it hasn't exactly been easy. There's been moments of clarity, sure, but also a lot of searching, a lot of doubt. And as I'm sitting here now at 27, I feel like I'm finally starting to piece things together a little bit. You know, I was always taught that following the instructions, going to school, getting good grades, go to college or university, work hard, follow the rules, you will find success. And right from the start, I had issues with that. Like, I struggled with that quote-unquote map. I figured out really early on that school wasn't my thing, like, I just didn't fit in, and that reflected in my grades. By the time that I graduated and I went to college, I was so done with everything. But I decided, I'll give it a shot. I dropped out not even half a semester in. By my mid-20s, I was in a retail job, and that kept me busy for a while, but slowly wore me down. And eventually, I had to quit because the stress that I was experiencing on a daily basis was starting to affect my physical health. When I quit, that was the first time that I truly slowed down. And it hit me hard, like questions started popping up, like, what am I even doing? It felt like I had left the prologue of a game without ever learning the controls. I didn't know where I was going, and let alone how to get there. That realization brought a lot of emotions with it. Like heavy ones, like guilt, confusion. This overwhelming pressure to catch up to everyone else. And maybe that's something you've experienced too, like that feeling that everyone around you has it all figured out. The thing is that they don't. Like, they just don't. Like, everyone else is struggling with their own things and had to maybe fight twice as hard as you to get to the same position. But on the outside, it just seems like they know what they're doing. And it took me some time to realize that. Looking back, I've had moments like this before. First when I was around 19, then again at 25. And back then, I didn't have the words to describe what I was feeling. Like, I just knew that something was off, but I couldn't put my finger on it. And looking back, hindsight being hindsight, it's that these moments weren't necessarily failures or, bad experiences or something. Well, just bad experiences. They were signals. Try to imagine it like your body that sends signals all the time, right? Like, you're hungry, that's a signal. You gotta poop, that's a signal too. You're in pain, like it's a signal. Like, hey, pay attention. You need to focus on this area right now. You're hurt. And even those overwhelming emotions, the guilt, the pressure, that need to feel like you need to catch up because you're falling behind is a signal too. All of these are signals. Just like when you're in pain, just like when you're hungry, it's trying to tell you that, hey, pay attention, right? In this case, it can very easily be a sign that something just isn't working. And that doesn't mean that you're failing, but can be because maybe you're outgrowing where you are. Maybe the job that you're in right now isn't the job you want to do anymore. Maybe the course you're taking at university or college is what it thought you wanted it to be and you want change. Maybe you're not enjoying your hobby anymore and you need to just take a step back from it or just find something new altogether, right? Like, I'm not trying to say that, because your job isn't what you want it to be, that you need to quit right now or that you need to drop out of college and just go and freeball it. But I'm trying to say that it's important to listen. When you feel these feelings, take a step back for a second and try to figure out, hey, is this a signal of maybe growth? Is it time for change? And I know that growth is uncomfortable, you know, but it's also part of a human experience. Like, embracing those emotions can be a first good step to that growth. Like, it might be uncomfortable at first, like we often don't really listen to ourselves because it's a difficult and scary thing to do, and sometimes, like, yeah, bad feelings crop up, but it's important that you learn to listen to that you learn to embrace that moment. In my case, you know, that guilt that I felt wasn't about wasted time. It was my mind telling me, hey, pay attention, right? Like, that retail job, whatever that I thought was there or that I would find there, it wasn't there anymore. I had grown past that. Like, I was way past that point. And I needed to really rethink what success actually meant for me. And to be honest, like, I'd spent so much time comparing myself to others, you know, like friends, people that I'd met online, just anyone, really, literally anyone. It felt like they had everything figured out, you know, because I was so focused on them, I couldn't see what I'd accomplished for myself. You know, their struggles, their victories were theirs, not mine. Once I let go of that comparison, something shifted. I started to question, you know, that version of success that I'd been chasing. Was it even mine? Or was it something that I'd been told to want? And when I stepped back, you know, I realized that success didn't have to be that one-size-fits-all type of thing. Like, despite what's floating out there, success doesn't necessarily mean, oh, you have, like, so much money and, like, you're financially independent or something, or, like it is, success is really about what you truly enjoy, what feels meaningful to you, and what makes you get out of bed each morning. And for me, that realization was so freeing. What I've learned from this whole process is that growth doesn't come from knowing all of the answers. It comes from asking the right questions, you know, questions about what do you want? What matters to you? And that's uncomfortable, that's messy, that's difficult. But it's also where you'll find the most clarity. So right now, if you're feeling stuck, you're feeling overwhelmed, you know, take a breath. Just deep inhale, long exhale, you know, that feeling isn't there to hold you back. It's trying to tell you something. Listen to it. Trust that you're not falling behind. It's a sign that you're growing in your own way and in your own time. And that's enough.